My name is Cheryl Jones. I work with Pets Are Worth Saving, Shoals Animal Advocates, and I volunteer for the Florence and Culver shelters. We had an experience to work with the new fields in treating distemper dogs. In the past, whenever shelters came across distemper, it usually was a death sentence for the whole shelter.
We have lost dogs in the past to distemper, and it's a horrible disease.
And he said, if it's distemper, there's nothing we can do. He has to be immediately put to sleep. It'll just get worse.
And if they even act sick, they're euthanized.
Because of a possible distemper.
Distemper is a paralyzing neurological condition that usually results in the dog dying, or in a shelter situation, the dogs are euthanized. Canine distemper has been not very common in years ago. However, in the past couple of years, it's become more common. The way to prevent distemper is to have your dog properly vaccinated. But in the case where dogs are not properly vaccinated and they come into a shelter environment, they can come across another dog that has come down with distemper. In a shelter environment, for dogs coming in, if they get a runny nose, watery eyes, anything, that usually just results in the dog being put down. Then if you actually have dogs that manifest distemper symptoms or are in a place where they're actually tested for distemper, then they most certainly would be euthanized.
So they were still very much euthanizing dogs that had distemper. There was nothing else they could have done.
But in November, some dogs from the Selma shelter have been pulled from.
One of you actually pulled the dogs out of the shelter because they were going to Badass. At that time, they'd had a distemper outbreak in the shelter.
The shelter had distemper.
So we felt the obligation to test all of the dogs that were going. We tested all the dogs in the shelter, basically. But especially we got the ones out immediately that were going to Badass. Until we got those tested. When those dogs come back positive, then we of course contacted Eva Badass, and she is the one that actually found the new for us.
We've been fortunate here in North Alabama to witness 18 dogs who were actually tested and tested positive for distemper.
But she's actually managed to come up to take a treatment and to perfect it in a way that's working for so many, and so we're so thankful to her for that.
We've had dogs come here that were deeply sick, neurological problems, muscular problems, couldn't stand, couldn't open their mouth, couldn't eat, couldn't drink. And after her treatment and 24-hour care that they receive while they're here, the results have been amazing, absolutely phenomenal. We couldn't be more proud of her, couldn't be more proud for the dogs.
And now have been treated with a new serum and then actually tested negative for distemper.
The Badass dogs had just gotten over here to the doghouse. They just started the treatment. So the distemper cure wasn't really well known. It was more of an experimental thing.
And a group of us, including Anu and myself, agreed to help Badass by taking the dogs up here to North Alabama and killing and treating them.
Today's a big day. 4 of the dogs, Sasha, Edwin, and then there's a little pug and a little chihuahua in the car, tested negative for distemper. After testing positive.
The distemper treatment that Anu is doing is nothing short of amazing in my opinion, because nobody else is doing this, and it's saving lives.
Anu's extremely hard work has been so gratifying and successful.
And we want to get the word out to other people that the old things about distemper, the old adages and the old thoughts really need to go away, because now there is a treatment for distemper where the dogs survive and can live happy lives.
My heart breaks for all these families that go to these vets and they're told about distemper and they're told, well, there's nothing we can do, and these children and these families are losing their pets because nobody knows about this. It's not out there, it's just what they consider experimentals.
But we need for everybody to work together to support this so that we can save more dogs who in the past would just have died. So we're so grateful to Badass, the Selma Shelter, the Wannabe Rescue, A New Field.
For all of us who are involved in backing her up and lifting her up.
And those of us that agreed to help save the babies.
But it's just an amazing thing, and I really hope that it goes nationwide and that there's less dogs that have to face death because of this cure. I'm really hoping that the news gets out and nobody ever has to hear what we did.
But we want to get the word out because this is groundbreaking treatment and can save so many lives if we can just get it out there.
We need to get this spread around the world, what this is, because it can save all dogs that are being put down.
So it's really important to get the word out to people to please vaccinate your dog so that they don't ever have to come down with it. And it's important for all the rescues and shelter groups to know that if the dog does come down with it, there is a treatment option that can be done. We also need to raise awareness for donor dogs to donate blood to make the serum, and that when given to dogs produces an immune response that can then be taken out in the blood of the donor dog and used to make the serum with.
My dog is part of that, and to me she's a hero. And Anu Fields is a hero because she has done this out of love for dogs.
And want to continue to work with her to pull dogs in, get them fostered, and save them. So we appreciate it very much. And I think Anu's a wonderful person.
It's just really remarkable because distemper used to be such a death sentence, and now it's not a death sentence, it's just a little bump in their journey. It's really fascinating. I really can't wait to just see them healthy and running around and getting adopted and going to their homes when typically they just would have been another number. It's really exciting. If the cure would have been known, they would have never hesitated. It would have been like, we're just going to cure him, he'll be fine. So there's no telling how many more dogs had faced a very similar fate and just didn't believe that doctor like ours did.
I want to do everything in my power to teach the world that distemper is not a death sentence for dogs. It doesn't have to be anymore.
And I guess my biggest concern and the message that I want to send is that I want people to give their animals a chance. I want people to not euthanize a dog when they hear the word distemper. Understand that it's treatable, it's maintainable. Ask the right questions, ask the right people. Don't be afraid to step up and ask questions. Just give the animals a chance because it's well worth the fight in the end.
It's like a challenge
like
at first, like I'm fighting death, you know, and but it's so rewarding. It's rewarding, and sometimes they ask me why you fight death because it's inevitable. It's okay when it's time to die, when they're old age, but these puppies get distemper and die of a cure. Such an easy cure. Then I fight it, and it's so rewarding to see them happy. It's just you can't even explain. Money can't buy it. No, nothing can buy it. It's just you gave them life. That's a gift.
I feel thankful to be involved in an organization that would, go way above and beyond what we do for these dogs every day. And thankful for Anu for, even taking on something like this from us and just sharing, her knowledge and her wealth and just being willing to take a chance on these dogs. And with the organization I work with, we're 5 women. We work full-time jobs. We don't have time for any of this. None of us do, but we make time. And there are days when you want to walk away, and there's days I have said I'm going to walk away, but you can't. It never goes away. Once you start in this rescue, it never goes away. You try, but someone always finds you. So you're getting a call at 10 o'clock at night, and just the compassion you feel is beyond words. It's way beyond words.